Does Silksong's economy have you feeling broke? In this video, I'll show you how to get rich quick with a farming method that nets around 286 rosaries per minute. We'll also cover the best farming locations for each section of the game and locations of the best farming tools, so use the timestamps to navigate to a relevant section and save this video to reference as you progress. This loadout contains the best tools for farming. These are necessary to get the most out of our late game farming location, but any you can currently acquire will speed up farming at any location. We've got the Cogflies paired with the Pollip Pouch to increase the damage. Cogflies are great for farming because their health resets when you sit at a bench, and they won't waste shell shards. The Silkspeed Anklets improve sprinting for faster farming, and the quick Sling allows us to summon 4 Cogflies at once. The Thieves' Mark nets more rosaries if we avoid taking damage, and the Magnetite Brooch attracts those rosaries. Threadstorm's a great skill for quickly eliminating mobs, and don't forget to visit a merchant when you finish to turn your rosaries into necklaces and shard bundles for safe storage. My most efficient farming method is taking out the 2 grand reeds up and to the left of the Songclave bench. Make sure you farm and save as much as possible before Act 3, because one of these grand reeds disappears, and all of the farming methods I'll mention either disappear or become less efficient. When I got the Thieves' Mark, I started experimenting with using Cogflies to farm to avoid taking any damage, because the Thieves' Mark increases rosaries you earn, but you lose rosaries upon taking damage. So on this first trip, I simply avoid the enemy as my Cogflies eat him. I get 55 rosaries in 20 seconds. Good, but I think I can do better. So I go back to see if my Cogflies can take out 2 grand reeds in one trip. It works, and I get 110 rosaries, but my Cogflies break, taking out the second one, so now I can't reset them, and that's no good because 4 Cogflies takes a lot of shell shards. Then I thought about how the enemies pose for a bit before attacking and realized I could probably help the flies with a few hits. Turns out I can simply run up and hit the enemies as much as possible. The Cogflies take them out before they can retaliate. For damage reference, I have 3 crafting kit upgrades and the Hive Steel Needle, and with this method I'm able to get 110 rosaries in 23 seconds, or 286 a minute for my favorite farming method in the game. If you haven't made it to Songclave yet, this early Act 2 farming spot is the second best in the game, and the one I used for most of my playthrough. Start at the Grand Bellway bench and head left to take out the Envoy and Chorister, back them up against the wall and face tank, rinse and repeat. Without any of the farming tools I mentioned, you can net 25 to 30 rosaries every 20 seconds. You can boost efficiency with the Thieves' Mark and Cogflies, but if you have these, you're likely ready to farm at Songclave. Be sure to use Threadstorm here when you build up Silk to speed up eliminations, and this is also a great spot to farm quest items like fancy pins or using tools to get organs for the Brood Feast quest like I'm doing here. This next location is the best early game farming spot. You can access it about midway through Act 1, start at the bench at the halfway home in Greymoor, and then head out and to the right, where you'll find these 3 pilgrims wandering about. Just run straight to the right. You don't need to jump on the platforms like I do. I wasn't farming at this point in the game, so this is simply some spliced together footage of me fighting the enemies and showing you the location. If you're focused on farming these guys, you can get about 30 rosaries every 35 seconds. If you're desperate to get some extra rosaries at the very beginning to buy the compass and some essential mapping supplies or the Magnetite Brooch, I recommend starting at this bench under Mossholm, heading up and to the left to fight these 3 pilgrims wandering about on the ground. Farming gets more efficient later in the game as you get new locations and skills, so personally I would make do and wait until a little later to worry about farming. I'm simply exploring here in early game, not focused on actually farming, and even before acquiring Dash and Sprint, I make about 20 rosaries in a minute. If you lock in and get this loop down, this can net you about 20 rosaries per 40 seconds, before even unlocking Swift Step and being able to sprint around and speed up the method. Now I'm going to detail the locations of the farming tools I use. The Quick Sling is the hardest to find of the farming tools, but it's also one of the best and can be very broken in combat, especially paired with the Architect Crest. To find it, start at the Bellway bench in Bilewater, head left, first up, first right, and then second up. Find 2 back-to-back breakable walls, and they're hiding the quick sling to the left here. Lots of difficult platforming over the muck to reach it, but certainly a great reward worth the trip. The Thieves Mark is a great tool that's only really useful for intentional farming, unless you're so skilled that you never get hit. Head left, up, and then left again from the Blasted Steps Bellway bench and purchase it from Grendel, the snitch bug thieving NPC you meet. I recommend taking this off as soon as you're done farming because I've forgot and lost rosaries when you end up getting in a tight situation. You can get the Silkspeed Anklets as soon as you get the needle in after defeating Widow. Just head all the way to the right of Far Fields from the Seamstress bench and play it to gain access to Weaver Nest Syndril. There's a puzzle here. All you have to do is sprint all the way to the far right wall and it'll unlock the anklets. If you put the anklets on and use Flea Brew, you can run over the puzzle again to unlock a secret area. The Magnetite Brooch is the simplest farming tool to obtain and really useful to have for as much of the game as possible. I barely ever take it off. As soon as you get to Bone Bottom, the first village you encounter here in Moss Grotto, you can purchase it for 120 rosaries from the merchant Peb. Pays for itself over time as you'll likely miss more than 120 rosaries without it. The Cogflies have got to be the best red tool in the game, but they can't be accrued until later when you reach high halls above the Citadel. If this is your first time going to high halls, you'll have to start at this bench on the far left side and platform through the section diagonally up and all the way to the right, then drop down and take the first left. You'll need a craft medal to assemble the tool, so make sure you come prepared, but it's well worth the effort to be able to summon drones that attack nearby enemies for you. The Pollip Pouch is one of the best blue tools in the game, as it increases the damage of every red tool you have equipped, and you can obtain it by completing the Rite of the Polyp quest. You start this quest by heading down and to the left of this central Shellwood bench and talking to Greyroot. This is the same NPC that helps you obtain the Witch Crest later on. After talking to her, you'll need to find the 6 polyp hearts hidden throughout Shellwood, which is too extensive a topic to detail in this video, but each location can be looked up on a map online, and I have a quick compilation of my finding each polyp heart. If you're having trouble, let me know in the comments, and I'll make a separate video detailing their locations more extensively. Take the hearts back to Greyroot, and she'll give you the Pollip Pouch. Now you can poison your red tools and deal even more damage. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope this video helps you get all the rosaries and shell shards your heart desires. Please help me out by liking, subscribing, and commenting what you want to see next. I'm Chastain on Gaming, and I'll see you next time.